Coming up next, my 5 top recommendations for spring fragrances. We're still a month away or so from the official start of spring, but in places like here where it's already warm, we're already wearing a lot of those fragrances year round. And you want to start thinking ahead anyways, because a month away is nothing. And this gives you a little anticipation for some warmer weather. So find out what my top 5 recommendations are for spring fragrances coming up next. Welcome back everybody to JoelTheNose here at Osme Perfumery on a beautiful, still winter day, but you know, here, as I often talk about in Miami, it's pretty much summer, spring, all year round. So we wear fragrances year round that some people would say are meant for seasons. But having said that, spring is just around the corner, and it is, I think, officially a little over a month away. And for some places, you're in the heart of winter right now, and you're thinking, please let spring be here. Warmer weather, it signifies rebirth. You got plants and flowers coming out of winter. You know, you have the spring air, the smell of plants and growth and green. So anyways, having said all that, I wanted to get you guys kind of excited, get psyched for the spring coming right around the bend. And I wanted to give you 5 recommendations that I think are really good, what I would say, spring fragrances. And they're gonna be, as always, you know, I like to give you recommendations that are a little bit different from the normal ones that you typically hear of. You're gonna probably see some that maybe you've never heard of, and maybe they'll be on your radar now. So let's get right into this. And this is gonna be in no particular order today, just gonna give you 5. The first one is Mephisto from Casa Morati. You see it there? There we go. This is Mephisto. This is, you know, I would think most people would really consider this a kind of a traditional, almost freshy fragrance. So you're gonna see my 5 fragrances here. I'm gonna give you a little bit of everything. There's gonna be a mix of stuff. And this would be, I think, falling into that kind of traditional spring, summer, fresh fragrance notes. If you wanna hear some of the notes on this one, it's got bergamot, lavender, lemon, grapefruit, iris, rose, violet. So that's what attracted to me for this video, because you've got those kind of white florals where you have, not white florals, but you have violet, you have rose, you have iris. So you have these, some white, some red, florals. Again, I think of spring, I think of springtime blooming. And so this, to me, combined with the freshness, is an excellent fragrance for the springtime. It covers a few different, really, spring themes of both freshness, rebirth, and kind of fresh blooms. So, all right, next, I'm gonna go with, from the house of Maurice, this is Serena. Take a look at there, you can see it. I think you guys can see that. This is a kind of Mediterranean themed island marine vibe. So again, when I think of spring, one of the things I think of, at least here in the coastal area like Miami, where we're right on the beach, winter's a little bit cold for us locals to go to the beach, at least get in the water. Tourists come, they get in the water, it's fine for them. But for us, when the water drops below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it gets a little bit chilly. Spring is when you start to see the waters warm. This is based on kind of a Mediterranean island, summer, spring breezes, ocean breezes. It's got some citrus, it's got marine notes. And again, it's that marine note here that attracts me to this being a perfect springtime fragrance as we're warming up, the water's warming up, the locals here can start getting back in the water again for those of like me who don't like cold water. And Maurice is, you know, a great British house. I haven't talked about this one. I don't think I've ever done a video on this one, but really is one of my favorites from the house of Maurice. So check it out, Serena. Next, and this one, I think also, I'm gonna stick with this one next because it's kind of in the same theme as the last fragrance, Serena. And this is, I do think it's probably a fragrance that a lot of you know, and that is 40 Knots. 40 Knots from Serjoff. And again, this is a fragrance that is clearly, by the name 40 Knots, has a marine boat theme, the ocean air, the salt air. It's fresh, it's clean, it's vibrant, This, again, captures all that essence of springtime. Fresh, clean, back in the water, marine, salt air, beach, spring break, having fun with your friends. This is just a fun fragrance. It was so fun, I think I just spit at you guys. Sorry about that. But get so excited sometimes. This is a fun fragrance. You know, some fragrances, you know, are more serious. Some are more, you know, more intimate. This is just a fun party, good time fragrance, 40 knots, and don't let it surprise you because it's fun and light and fresh. It's an all-day fragrance that you're going to really enjoy if you've never worn 40 knots from Sergio, but I do think it's one of the more popular ones from their house, so a lot of you probably know that one. All right, next. This would be my fourth one, and this is probably going to be a little bit of an outlier for some of you guys. It is Ligno from Jeroboam. Ligno from Jeroboam. Why in the world did I pick this little extrait de parfum, 30 milliliters? Because besides the fact that I'm wearing it today, and putting it on this morning from my personal collection is what motivated me to do this video, because patchouli, this is a patchouli bomb for all you patchouli fans out there. And patchouli to me is one of the most earthiest, I don't know if that's a word, but you know, fragrances that, you know, the fragrance note of patchouli is from the ground. It's very stabilizing. Again, it's kind of reminiscent to me of the earth renewing itself every year during spring. And that's why I think if you haven't done a patchouli fragrance, or you haven't thought of a patchouli fragrance during spring, this is one that you should absolutely look into. You know, check out other patchouli fragrances, but I happen to really enjoy. This is, again, an extrait de parfum, so it's extremely concentrated. When you put it on, you immediately know this is gonna be patchouli, patchouli, patchouli. If you love patchouli, this is definitely one you gotta get your nose on. And again, excellent spring fragrance because of that earthy note. And thanks for the photo bomb by Maurice. Hey Maurice, and actually, I'm gonna do my last one here, and if you could think of maybe one that you recommend for spring coming up. Okay. We'll do a little kind of impromptu video. So this is my last one, and it is, of course, from Fragrance du Bois. It is Solstice. Solstice is, you know, it talks about you have the winter and summer solstices. It's very kind of tied to the heavens. It's a very important meteorological event, but it also kind of is a signifier of change of seasons. So since, again, spring is coming up, I thought this is a great one. It very much has, I think, a kind of a summer spring feel to it. Oops, and I sprayed it to the wrong direction there. It's got some of that citrusy lemon, and again, the sun logo is perfect for it. So again, this kind of fits into the theme of, all right, let's warm up. Let's get into the springtime. Fragrance du Bois, one of my favorite houses, always going to be a long-lasting, well-performing fragrance for you. And having said that, let's jump in here with just kind of an impromptu guest. We got Maurice, of course, one of the co-owners here at Osme. You guys all know him. So what would you recommend for the viewers as spring is right around the corner?
Okay.
And,
so I actually picked up two.
Okay. Nice.
It's two that I've been wearing for the past couple of months. Fairly new brand. It's called Precious Liquids. But one of, well, I actually have two. So two that I want to, talk to you guys about. This one is the one that I think I like to smell on women, which is called Champaka. Let me go in a little.
Yeah, go on in.
So Champaka, it's most times when we hear Champaka, it's always blended with citrus, but this Champaka is a little bit different. It's more on the floral side, and even though I don't know the notes, I know how it makes me feel. Yeah. So Champaka is light, it's uplifting, it's playful. It's the opposite of what I would normally go for, which is like the heavier gourmands and the ambers. But it really gives me, I like it. It really gears, even though it's unisex, it gears more towards a woman. Salt and pepper. Now this is
Yeah.
the name itself, salt and pepper, from the same brand.
Let me get out of the way so you can focus there.
So this one is salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is just,
And it doesn't refer to the gray hair.
it's just clean and crisp.
Yeah.
Clean, crisp, minimalistic.
Totally.
This is what you want to wear in the summer or in the spring. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's one of my favorites from the house. There's a lot of good ones. And this is the house, right? The founder and creative director and perfumer is Richard Herpen, right?
Yes, he's the one that did like, I think he did Amouage Opus 5. He had something to do with that one. He also did Oud Wood from Tom Ford,
Yeah.
and many more things. He has a crazy resume.
Crazy resume, and this is his own niche brand for those of you who haven't explored it yet, but got some amazing stuff in here. And yeah, salt and pepper, now that you said it, absolutely would have been one that I would have thought of as far as a perfect spring fragrance, perfect, just kind of crisp, light, can smell it now.
Yeah,
It's got a nice little punch to it.
Yeah, I just put on 20 sprays.
That's funny, right during that time. For those of you who are always afraid, haven't done a video on this in a while, of overspraying, he just did 20,
Easy.
and it's nothing.
The thing is, when a perfume is done very well, you don't really need to worry about if it's going to be too strong. When it's constructed properly, you can put on as much as you want. Just use, your common sense. You're not going to put on 20 sprays of something that's heavy. But if something is light and airy, then go for it.
One other thing that I was thinking about the other day too, about the spraying, over, under spraying, it also depends on the atomizer, So if you've got a heavier fragrance, let's say you've got one that distributes a ton of,
Then you can go
fragrance, you're maybe not going to do as much with that. But, some sprayers or atomizers only give you a little bit, so you're going to have to go with more sprays. I think people need to, you kind of look at what your bottle gives you and obviously what's in there, the actual juice. Is it more heavy? Is it more light? And kind of think about all that. So I don't think you should have like a hard, fast rule. Like,
No.
I need 10 or I need 20 or I need 5. You got to really look at
Whatever makes you comfortable. So if someone want to spray one spray, good for you. But if someone else want to spray 20, don't chastise them for it. It's to each his own. More is better in my eyes.
no spraying bullying. You hear that? No bullying. All right, great.
All right.
Excellent.
All right, guys.
Well, thanks for jumping in for a quick video there, and we'll be back soon with another video as always. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, and perfume.